Hi everybody, this is ML Reads with Chapter 6, Part A of the Elementalists Book 1 by Pixelberry Studios Choices app. As always, if you want to watch any of the other videos in this series, I will link that main playlist in the description. Otherwise, for the rest of us, let's jump back in to Chapter 6, Ill Omens. Throw on your jersey, are you ready for some magical sports? Continue playing. And here's that beautiful opening title screen again. I don't know why I need to narrate it every single time. Chapter 6, Ill Omens. So, previously on the Elementalists, Eli is in Aster's shop when Aster suddenly had this ominous vision and passed out. So, that's where we are. Eli. Aster! Aster! You shake Aster's limp body, which is slumped over the counter. Overhead, the hootlings take flight again, screeching in agitation. Panicked, you look around. Eli. Oh god, what do I do? What do I do? Aster. Aster stirs, letting out a groan and pushing herself up. Aster. That was a strong one. I think I need to sit down. She wobbles, and you quickly take her by the shoulders, guiding her onto the bench by the clothing racks. Eli, are you okay? What the hell was that? Aster gives you a tired smile. Aster, I'll be fine. My branching is rarely ever that intense. I just need a few minutes. Eli, branching? Is that what you call fortune-telling? Aster, that's not quite it. Branching refers to my ability to extend my awareness into the trees around me, to see and hear what they do. It's how I can tap into the discussions that are always happening in the natural world around us. I've been able to do it for some time, but... She shuts her eyes as though hit with another wave of dizziness. Eli, this branching... And then the options are, it looks like it hurts you, or is it dark magic? We'll go with, it looks like it hurts you. It can't be safe to do something that takes so much out of you, can it? Aster. Just as Attuned must be careful not to attempt magic beyond their abilities, wood nymphs must be aware of our boundaries when branching. It's difficult to extend your consciousness outside of your own body. Dangerous, too, to untether yourself from your physical form like that. I overreached just now. Eli. Not to pry, but do you zone out like that a lot? You did it the last time I was here too. Aster shivers slightly. The leaves in her hair droop, their green losing vibrancy. Aster. Sometimes the trees want to show me things, so they draw me into them, so that I can see what they're seeing. It can be difficult to understand them, since they primarily communicate through sight and feelings. And they rarely try to speak to me like they did just now, since I don't know their ancient language. Eli. Aster, that vision, or whatever it was you just had. At the end, it seemed like you were trying to warn me about something. Aster rubs at her temples with a wince. Aster. I'm not sure what I said to you just now. The tree's emotions were so strong that I felt them taking me over, but now they're all muddled. I can sense that much is troubling you, though. Your energy is restless. Perhaps my message had to do with that. Oh, I'm being no help at all. Eli. Aster, don't worry about it. You literally just passed out. There's no need to push yourself. Aster. You're too kind, Eli. I can see why you're sun-attuned. Warmth just radiates off of you. She starts to rise, her legs wobbling slightly. Aster, please don't worry about me. I'm already feeling much better. However... Well, I'm not sure if this will be of any help, but I have been studying the ancient tree language. I think I recognized a word just now, perhaps two. It didn't quite make sense to me, but they may help you better understand what's happening in your life. Eli, I could really use some answers about, well, literally everything that's been going on these days. Aster, I'll have to strain a bit to remember exactly what the trees were trying to say, but I should be okay. I'd really like to help you, if I can. Tutorial. Asking Aster for information will give you a clue into the mysterious events plaguing you, as well as a chance to learn more about Aster's wood nymph abilities. And here we have a premium scene. I love her outfit. So the free option is Aster, that's so thoughtful, but don't worry about it. And the premium option is Aster, that's so thoughtful and I want to know more. We'll take that one. I want to know more. Aster stands up a little straighter, seeming to gather strength from your rapt attention. She lets out a slow breath, her expression darkening in concentration. And then her eyes have gone black again. Aster, I can almost recall. Yes. She stumbles suddenly, throwing a hand out to a nearby coat rack to steady herself. Eli, Aster, are you okay? Aster, I'm fine, Eli. The trees that I branched through were at the edge of a vast grassy plain. Rolling hills stretch for leagues all around. Eli, is that important? Aster, oh yes. I believe that these trees wanted to communicate with me because something terrible was going to happen there. They tried to speak to me, but the connection was strained and muddled. I'm certain I kept hearing the word blood through it all, though. Eli, well, that's ominous. Aster, the second was a word I'm less familiar with, but the trees repeated it enough that I should be able to find it. She hurries to the front, and you follow in time to see her take a thick, aged tome off a shelf. She opens it on the counter, flips to a page, and skims her finger down tiny columns of text. Aster, yes, here it is. Fragment. It came up a few times, but that means very little to me. Her smile falls, and her leaves droop again. Aster, as I feared. That wasn't helpful at all, was it? Eli, I really appreciate your help, even if I'm not sure what it all means. If anything, I should apologize for being nosy when you're so worn out. Aster, not at all. Truthfully, I've made children cry by branching in front of them, so your curiosity is refreshing. Eli, I can't help it. This power of yours is fascinating, once you get over your eyes going all gateway to the underworld. Aster bursts into laughter, the leaves in her hair rustling. Eli, everything you feel or hear when you branch like that, the trees tell you? Aster, yes. All wood nymphs can branch, which essentially means we can see through the trees as they are part of us, and we are part of their forest. Eli, so about this branching thing, and then the options are, how does tree language figure into it? Or, when did you develop yours? Or, how strong is your ability? We'll go with, how does tree language figure into it? Like, how does it all work? You can see what the trees see, and you can talk to them? Aster, all living wood nymphs speak the low language standard nymph. Those of us who have rooted and become trees communicate in a higher language, the ancient language of the trees. Eli, so then you have to learn this ancient language at some point, or else you'll never be able to speak with your ancestors. Aster, precisely. The ancient language is complex and takes hundreds of years to master, so it becomes a lifelong undertaking for many of us. A wood nymph my age has barely learned any of it at all, so it was surprising that the trees tried speaking directly to me. Eli, and lucky that you're ahead of the game. Aster, I just love learning. There's so much knowledge to gather from the world. I hope to be accepted into Pendergast's cultural exchange program next year, so I can learn more about attuned magic. Eli, Pendergast has a cultural exchange program? Aster, it was started by Professor Kontos of the Natural Sciences Department, following his graduate studies at the college. I've read all his works. Eli, you sound like a perfect fit for the program then. Aster, that's what I told my parents. They don't approve of me attending Pendergast. But I've already submitted my application, and if I get accepted, they won't be able to stop me. Eli, Aster, and then the options are, do you have an attunement? Or, can you tell me about wood nymph magic? Or, why don't your parents approve? Let's go with, do you have an attunement? Aster hides a laugh behind her hand. Aster, you attuned and your attunements. It's fascinating, really, how meticulously organized you are. But if it's helpful to you, your wood attunement is nearest to the type of magic we wood nymphs possess. Eli, I probably should have guessed that. Aster, wood-ats and wood nymphs are quite different. Nymphs are hyper-aware of our environment, so we tap into emotional frequencies easily. We're also photosensitive, which is why I can feel your sun energy from far away. All the trees are attracted to your warmth, actually. Eli, I think it'd be really cool to have a wood nymph on campus. You could learn attuned magic, and we could learn nymph magic. Aster, my father might uproot me from our forest and transplant me elsewhere if I ever taught any of our magic to you attuned. Then again, what he doesn't know won't hurt him, as you attuned are so fond of saying. Eli, Aster, and then options are, please teach me a wood nymph spell, or how about I teach you an attuned spell? Let's go with, please teach me a wood nymph spell. Aster, how positively taboo. I would be honoured to. She gestures to a small potted plant on the countertop. A pink flower bud is closed up tightly at the end of a short stem. Eli, are you going to teach me how to make it bloom? Aster, precisely. It's quite easy. You just have to let it hear your heart song and give it the encouragement it needs to grow. She leans over the flower, then starts speaking gently. Aster, how are you doing, little friend? It's plenty warm today, and with Eli here, the air tastes like sunlight. Wouldn't you like to wake up? Eli, Aster? That doesn't look like magic at all. Where are the spells? Aster, wood nymph magic isn't about casting, it's about working together, all parties nurturing each other. The warmer your heart, the more radiant your magic. Eli, okay, well, here goes nothing. You lean over the potted plant and mumble a few words. Eli, hey there, little guy. I hope you like my, sun energy. Want to spread those pretty petals of yours and photosynthesize? The flower shivers and doubles in size, and the petals burst open, turning turquoise blue and letting out a high-pitched squeal. Aster, it seems that you just turned it into a different species of flower entirely. Branching out, you tried your hand at wood nymph magic. Aster, our magical foundations may be too different to fully grasp each other's methods of spell work. Eli, hey, we still made something happen. That was awesome. Aster turns her head toward the window, the leaves in her hair rustling. Aster, oh, I've just seen through the trees. Your friend is on his way back and is eager to return to school. Best of luck with your tryouts, Eli, and thank you for spending time with me. Eli, I guess you'll know from the trees whether I make the team or not. Aster, I believe in you. Do your best, follow your heart, and the path ahead will be clear to travel. She waves you off, and you meet up with Griffin to head back to school. You and Griffin arrive at the Thief Arena, where several hopefuls are already gathered. Zeph waves to you from the sidelines. Zeph, hey Eli, good luck, but don't be mad when I kick your butt. An upperclassman walks briskly your way. Upperclassman, you really know how to cut it close, don't you, Langley? I thought you were flaking on me. Griffin takes out the new thief flags and opens his mouth to respond, but the upperclassman waves a hand flippantly. Upperclassman, don't want to hear it. Just give me the flags and I'll let you get back to chilling with whoever your friend is. Wow. He takes a look at your uniform and his eyes widen. Upperclassman, no way. You're the first year Sunat I've heard about. The only one at Pendergast in like 100 years or something. Griffin, Eli, this is Everett Merksayer, our captain. Captain, the team's never had a Sunat on it before. I hope you do well, and not just because it'll look good for me to have you on the field. Eli, honestly, oh my goodness, don't get your hopes up or you'd be lucky to have me. Hell yeah, this guy is rude. Honestly, you'd be lucky to have me. You'd just better hope that when I make the cut, I like Thief enough to stick around. Captain, confident. You remind me of me, Russell, and I respect that. And I doubly respect that jersey. I like your spirit. We'll be starting in 5. I look forward to seeing what you can do out there, freshie. He snatches the flags from Griffin and walks away. I can see why Griffin doesn't like the team. Eli, he's kind of intense. Griffin, that's the captain for you. The best thing to do when he gets worked up is just let him run out of steam. So heads up for when you're on the team. You take a longer look at the other students warming up. Familiars play together on the lawn, while several upperclassmen cast spells. Eli, what's with the magic some of them are doing? I thought tryouts hadn't started yet. Griffin, plenty of players use air magic for speed and agility boost during games. It's totally legal, so it's become common during tryouts too. Eli, too bad I can't do anything like that. Butterball, aroo! Butterball materializes in your arms. Eli, but good thing I've got you, right buddy? What do you say? Ready to give me a hand out there? Butterball leaps to the ground, then jumps around you excitedly. You ruffle his ears. Butterball, yip. Eli, hang on, I just remembered. I think I have something else that'll help too. You dig around in your book bag for the wooden box you bought from Aster's shop your first day at Pendergast. Inside, the marbles fit snugly in their slots. Eli, yes, this one's air elemental. I might be able to get an air boost after all. Griffin, having Butterball and air magic on your side will give you double the options to get through each round of tryouts. Eli, this should help even the playing field against all those upperclassmen. I'm going to, and the options are, use the air marble or save it for later. I'm going to save it for later. Eli, this might come in handy some other time. I'll just hold on to it for now. Besides, I have Butterball. Butterball, ruff! You carefully place the marble back into its case, which you return to your book bag. 5 minutes later, the captain blows his whistle, directing everyone to a ward circle in the corner of the field. Griffin hands out belts, each with a single flag hanging from it. He stops in front of you with a grin. Griffin, I know you don't need any luck from me because you'll totally kick butt out there, but good luck anyway. Can't wait to have you on the team. He hands you the belt and you tie it around your waist. Eli, thanks. I hope I live up to your expectations. Captain, alright. Here's how tryouts are gonna go. There'll be a series of rounds to test you on various skills essential to Thief. You'll be facing off against each other, so pretend this is a match and keep your cool. I'll be watching from the stands. He and Griffin head into the stands, which are hidden behind the dome's wards. You can still hear his voice clearly when he calls out. Captain, in a real match, teams would start on opposite sides of the arena, but you won't have a team to strategize with today. Things will reset each round, so don't worry too much about losing your flag. I just want to see what you can do. Everybody ready? He blows his whistle again, and the terrain starts to shift. You find yourself in a wide open meadow with nowhere to hide. You and the other hopefuls eye each other warily. Eli, and she's like staring at everyone. And then there's this student with a stripy shirt who like stares at you back. Zeph, here we go. May the best attuned win. And then there's a student with a black crop top. Don't get your hopes up, fresh meat. Captain, I want to get a feel for your close range skills here. The next 5 minutes are an all-out melee. Protect your flag with all you've got. Ready? Go! 2 players dart toward you, their eyes on your flag. Student with a stripy shirt. This one's mine. Get your own target. Black crop top student. Big talk from someone who isn't going to make the team. Eli, this one's from 0 to 100 real quick. I need to get Butterball's help. Butterball, I need you. Butterball launches himself toward your opponents. Butterball, roar. He tackles one of the players to the ground before leaping at the other, grabbing his shirt between his teeth and pulling him down. Stripy shirt student. Nice, Araloo. Nice, Araloo. Butterball, grrr. You use your chance to escape, Butterball catching up with you gleefully. Butterball, yip. Yay, thanks, Butterball. Soon, the open field melts away, and you find yourself in a dungeon. The air smells damp, and a chill breeze blows through the cavernous hallways. Captain, some terrains work against us, amplifying any sound we make. This round, I want you to be stealthy, sneak up on your opponents and steal their flags. You slowly make your way through the dungeon, your shoes echoing with every step. You peer around a corner and spot another player looking around nervously. Student, and this one has her hair in a bun? This is way too much like the catacombs from Double Undead Zombies Wrath. She starts to head away from you. Eli, and then she's thinking this, here's my chance. I need to capture her flag and get away without being noticed. I should tiptoe. With her back to you, you sneak up on her and snatch her flag. Student, Eli, I'm out of here. You dart down a side hallway and are long gone before her cry of panic attracts anyone else to your location. The third round sets you in a rocky forest where sunlight streams through the branches and birds chirp cheerily above. Captain, for this round, I want to see you use magic to capture each other's flags. This is where you can be flashy. Impress me. You jog through the forest for a while, keeping your eyes peeled for flashes of movement through the thick foliage. You run into a clearing and hear footsteps approaching. Suddenly, the student you faced at the start of tryouts bursts out of the undergrowth. And it's black crop top student? You're still in this? She skids to a stop when she sees you. You're both frozen for a moment, and then she starts backing slowly toward the trees. Eli, not running away, are you? She lets out a scoff and settles into an offensive stance. Student. Heh, fresh meat's gutsier than she looks. Don't tell me you're looking for a showdown. Eli, that's the whole point of tryouts, isn't it? May the best attuned win. Eli's loving this. Student, the last guy I beat said the same thing, but if you think you can do better, by all means. Does she mean Zeph? You zero in on the flag hanging from her belt, your mind working quickly to formulate a plan to steal it. Eli, I'm going to trap her in the trees. Butterball, I need you for this. Butterball, aroo! You instantly feel a burst of power shoot through you. Eli, time to end this showdown. You channel the power into the ground, then up through the tree roots. The branches around your opponent start closing in around her. Student, no, wait! One of the branches twines around her flag and tears it free, while the others suck her deeper into the foliage. Student, ah! You retrieve her flag from the tree with a smirk. Eli, I guess you should have run away when you had the chance. With her flag in hand, you turn tail and dash into the forest to find your next opponent. The terrain changes suddenly. You find yourself in a spooky forest, completely silent save for the cawing of a crow in the distance. After a few minutes of trekking, a murky lake comes into view. You turn slowly around, trying to see through the mist that hangs low all around you. Eli, where is everyone? You hear a quiet splash and spin back toward the lake. Movement just below the surface catches your eye. You step up to the edge to peer in. And then it's your weird reflection! Your reflection reaches for you from just below the water's surface. Eli, ah! You scramble back as her hand pierces the surface of the water. Cold fingers slip off your ankle, failing to grab hold. Butterball leaps in front of you. Butterball, roar! Oh no, Butterball! And then your reflection's like, surprised? Through your pulse pounding furiously in your ears, you're faintly aware of a whistle cutting through the clearing. The forest dissolves before your eyes, taking your reflection with it. Is Butterball okay? The default arena reappears. All around, students stand in comical postures, mid-sprint or halfway through casting spells. The captain blows his whistle again from the stands. Captain, all right, I've seen enough to make my decision. When I call your name, come up to the stands and I'll let you know if you've made the cut. Eli, hold on a second. What about that thing that attacked me? Everyone turns to stare at you. Eli, you were watching from the stands. Didn't you see it come out of the lake and try to grab me? Captain, Freshie, if something tries to grab you in a game of Thief, it's an opponent trying to get your flag. You're gonna have to get used to it. Eli, it isn't an opponent if they look exactly like me and they want to drown me. Captain, I understand that Thief might be a little overwhelming if you've never played before, but if you make the team, you'll need to drop the theatrics. Oh my goodness. With that, the captain turns his attention to calling people up to the stands to get their results. Eli, nice to have you looking out for me, Cap. Yeah, he's gross. Butterball. Oh, good, Butterball's okay. Butterball nuzzles your face one last time, then disappears into the ether. When the captain calls you to the stands, he's flipping through a clipboard, his legs slung up on the back of the chair in front of him. He glances up at you and sets the clipboard aside. Captain, okay, dang! Where have you been all my life? It almost hurts my pride to say this, but the team needs you. He sits up straight. Captain, what I'm saying is, congrats, you've made varsity. Eli, thank you. That's really, great. Captain, I get that you were kinda spooked by that last terrain, but don't worry, we practice terrain preparedness extensively. You can expect an official practice schedule by the end of the week. I'm glad to have you on the team, Russell. Not many freshmen get the honour. He holds out a hand and you take it, still stunned. He gives your hand a quick, firm shake, then directs his attention back toward the field. Captain, next up, Zephyr Hernandez. You make your way outside to wait for Zeph so you can tell him about your reflection's appearance in the lake. But when he appears, his shoulders are slumped, and his expression is downcast as he mumbles to himself. Oh no. Zeph. There's one dream up in smoke. Classic Zeph, couldn't make the cut. Aww. Eli. Oh no, not more bad news. Zeph spots you and pulls a smile onto his face. Zeph. Captain told me the news. Congrats. I knew you'd make it if you tried out, and varsity too. I only made JV, but oh well, right? I shouldn't have bought this special jersey. I can't believe I was so sure I'd get onto varsity. Stupid, right? Aw, poor Zeph. He forces a laugh. Eli. Zeph. And then the options are, my spot should be yours, or there's always next year, or JV will be fun too. Whew. This is a tricky one. This has happened to me in real life, and I've been on both sides of this particular situation, and it's never fun. We'll go, Zeph, there's always next year. You'll have plenty of time to practice before then. I'm sure you'll make varsity as a sophomore. Zeph, and then we'll be on the same team, kicking butt together like it's meant to be. And in the meantime, I still get to go to all your matches. He glances back toward the Thief Stadium. Zeph, I honestly don't even know why I'm so surprised I didn't make it. It's not like... He catches himself suddenly, forcing the smile back onto his face. Zeph, sorry. It's really not a big deal. It just hurts a little bit in the moment, you know? I'll be over it by dinner. Eli, Zeph, why don't we go get lunch and talk? We don't even have to talk about Thief, just something to cheer you up. Zeph, I'm totally fine. And I was going to head to my next class early and get a bit of extra studying in. You know, keep ahead of the curve. He casts one more glance toward the Thief Stadium and his smile falls. Zeph, see you later, Eli. Aww. He starts to walk away, shoulders slumped, posture dejected. Eli, not making the varsity team has really got him down. Tutorial. Here's your chance to cheer Zeph up and learn more about his goals for the year. Okay, and so we have a premium choice here, and before we move on with the story, we are going to take a quick break, and I will be back with you shortly. See you soon!